Hello, folks. Glad you could make it today. We had a little bit of a break over the holidays, but it's a good time to get back into our Hatha Yoga and be ready to launch into 2023 with lots of good energy and lots of centeredness, being centered in our true self, in our inner self. So one of the things I wanted to do as we start today is to show you a few things. You know, when you first get up in the morning, sometimes you're a little stiff from sleeping all night. And if you jump out of bed and you just start moving around, doing things too quickly, it can create a problem. So we're going to do a few simple stretches that are really great to do first thing in the morning when you get up. So first, let's begin by doing a couple of deep spinal breaths, placing the awareness at the base of the spine. Let's inhale, bring our awareness all the way up to the third eye, between the eyebrows, above the head, and then exhale and bring our awareness down. So let's do 3 of those as we begin. Great. Now placing your awareness in the heart center along the spine behind the heart, or in the third eye, between the eyes, just above the eyebrows. And now a couple of things to do when you first get up in the morning. It's nice to be really careful with your neck. So let's gently turn our heads to the left. Just pausing there. If you feel any tension on the opposite side of your neck, just try to soften it. And then back to center, and then to the opposite side. And then back to center. Now, if you want a little more of a stretch in the neck, turning our head to the left and reaching your opposite arm out just a little bit. And then back to center. And now to the opposite side. Just adds a little bit more of a stretch. And then back to center. Great. Okay, then the next thing we want to do is just do a few shoulder rolls. So let's do 3 rolls to the front and 3 rolls back. And then we want to do some, keeping our hips pretty well planted, just some gentle circles. We'll do 3 in one direction and then 3 back in the opposite direction. Great. Next, this is all part of our getting up in the morning even before we do our poses or anything else, just to make sure our body is as free of tension as possible so we don't increase any problems. Next, we're going to do a standing cat. So bending your knees, hands are on the thighs, and then we'll arch the spine up and then back the other way. And then 2 more times. Great. And then standing up. And then we're going to do something for our back. And that's to bend from the hips, slide our hand, the knees are bent, and then sliding forward flat back, and then come up very slowly. And let's do that one more time. And then come up nice and slowly. Great. So that's all very helpful. You can also, while you're still in bed, bring your knees to your chest just to relieve any tension that might be in the lower back. It's really nice to do a few things like that first thing in the morning, just as you get up, and just let your body get acclimated to the day. You know, that's kind of what we want to do. Okay, let's pause for a moment now, palms together in front of the chest, awareness in the heart center or the third eye, letting ourselves feel completely at peace, completely at home, ready to enjoy some Hatha Yoga Asanas. And now let's do 3 full yoga breaths, bending forward, exhaling completely. As we inhale, we're filling the lower, middle, upper portion of the tongue, upper portion of the lungs, expanding our arms into a Y, exhaling. 2 more. And then we'll pause. And now let's do a half moon. Half moon is great for massaging the adrenal glands, as well as releasing tension on the side of our body, which is an area we often ignore. So bringing our arms up, crossing palms, lock thumbs, stretch up on the toes, and bend to your left. Elbows are slightly bent. And we'll come back to center, stretch up on our toes, release our arms. Now the opposite side. So this time, right hand in front, stretching up on our toes, bending to the right. As you hold the pose, if you feel tension, just try to relax it and let it go. The idea is to let that tension go and let peace and bliss fill any area that had tension before. And now coming up, back, stretching, lower our arms, and pause. We're going to open up into a nice wide stance. We're going to do a forward, wide leg forward bend, and then we're going to move into classic triangle. So bending from the hips, coming forward, and just relaxing down. And now we'll move into the classic triangle. So bring your left hand to your kneecap or foot, opposite arm is up. Your torso is midway between both legs. And you're looking up at your outstretched hand. And then we'll lower that arm. We'll pause briefly. And now the opposite side. And bringing that arm down. And now palms together. Let's come up nice and slow and easy. And then bringing your feet together. And now let's move into warrior 2. So stepping out with your left leg, bending that knee. Opposite leg is behind you, stretched out. Arms are up, shoulders relaxed, looking over your left shoulder. And this is a posture of strength. So try to sense the power and strength of it, your own inner power. And now we'll do a variation. So forearm on the thigh, opposite arm over our head. Your palm can face down or forward, your choice. And then we'll lower that arm. Straighten our leg, turn that foot in, bring our feet together. And as we pause, just try to have that sense of letting go and openness throughout our whole being. Our goal is to harmonize our body, mind, and inner self. And now the opposite side. So stepping out with the right leg, left leg is behind us, arms are up, and we're looking over our right shoulder this time. And now our variation, forearm on the thigh, opposite arm over the head. And then lowering that arm, straightening our leg, turn our foot in, feet together, and let's pause. And now let's do a chair pose. And that chair pose is going to move into an ankle twist. So let's begin bringing our arms up. We're going to come up on our toes, down on our heels. Arms are out and open. Our heart is open. Our chest is open. And then coming up, lower our arms. And now we're going to pause first. And then we're going to come up into an ankle twist. So coming up onto our toes, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Arms are out in front. And then we're going to twist to the left. Coming back to center. And then we're going to twist to the right. Back to center, lower our feet, lower our arms. Let's step to the back of our mats now. We're going to do a jackknife. So bringing our arms up, stretching way up on our toes, bending from the hips, flat back, and then lowering down very slowly, and just relaxing there. Just feeling the tension melt away and the bliss filling in. And then clasping your hands behind your back, let your shoulders drop forward. And then we'll lower our arms, let them dangle again. And then palms together, we'll come up very slowly up to standing position. And now let's step forward with the left leg coming down onto the right knee and arching back. And then bring our arms down, readjust our balance, and stand up. And now the opposite side, coming down onto the opposite leg, and then stretching forward. And bring our arms down, readjust the balance, and stand up. And now let's do a garland pose. So legs are wide apart, slight bend in the knees, and your hands can be on your thighs. It can be up, palms facing out, up holding the mudra. And then we'll straighten our legs, lower our arms, bring our feet together, and pause. And as we launch into the new year, it's always nice to do the star pose because it brings our energy to the upper centers, and whatever you're feeling, whatever you're feeling tired in the afternoon or before meditation, you just want to get that energy to the upper centers, do the star pose. So feet wider than the shoulders, arms are out, palms facing up. And we're sensing there's energy behind us, infinite energy behind us. It fills every cell of our being and it radiates out from us. And then you can lower your arms, bring your feet together. And now lying down and resting in Savasana. And remember, in Savasana, you're on your back. Feet are 12 to 18 inches apart. Arms at your sides, palms up. And the mood is one of just letting go. And now you can sit up and face your screen. And when we were doing our wake up in the morning things to get our body ready for the day, you're probably wondering, well, we didn't do anything for our lower body. But we're going to do leg limbering. Leg limbering is great for opening the hips and just getting our lower body awake. So feet together, hands are underneath your feet, and then we're flapping like beautiful butterflies. And then we'll pause. And then bring our nose toward the toes. And then coming up. And now let's extend our right leg. Bring our left foot in. We'll do our half butterfly. And then let's bring our arm underneath our knee. We'll do 3 circles in one direction, just waking up the knee a little bit. And then grasping our foot and rotating. And then cradling our leg in our arms and rocking it. Great. Now the other side. And then bringing your arm under your knee, 3 circles in one direction. And then 3 back the other way. And then straightening that leg and rotating. And then cradling your leg and rocking. And now let's bring our feet together again. Bring our nose toward our toes. And then sitting up. And now we're going to do a simple side stretch. So placing your left hand on the mat. Right arm is over your head. And then we'll lower that arm. And now the opposite side. And then we'll lower that arm. And now let's move into a head to the knee. So let's extend our right leg, left foot's in towards the thigh. Limber our upper back first. And then crossing our wrists, let's rotate our ankle a few times in each direction. And then sitting up, palms on the thigh. Nice deep inhalation. As we exhale, we're bringing our abdomen towards the thigh, slide our hands down our leg, and drop our head towards our knee. And then for a little variation, we're going to bring our hand to the opposite side of our leg and looking away from the leg in the opposite direction. Just a little bit of a twist. And then back to the original position. And then we'll come up. And we'll pause. And now the other side. And let's limber our upper back again first. And then rotate our ankle. And then sitting up and moving in at your own rate. The affirmation for this pose is left and right and all around. Life's harmony is our mind. And now our variation. So bringing your hand to the opposite side of your leg, looking in the opposite direction. And then back to the original position. And then coming up. And back to cross-legged. And now let's do a V-leg stretch. So opening into a great V as best you can, and then sliding your hands down your leg, abdomen towards the mat. If you can reach your big toe, 2 fingers around the big toe, thumb across the top. If not, just let your hands rest on your legs, wherever it's comfortable. And then bringing your hands back up and coming back to cross-legged. And now we're going to do Lord of the Fishes, which is just a version of a spinal twist. So extending our right leg, let's bring our left leg across the right, and then bringing our right arm up, pushing against the left leg, left arm behind you, looking over your left shoulder. And then we'll untwist. We'll pause with our legs extended. And now the opposite side. So left leg is straight, right leg crosses over. We're pushing against it with the left arm, right arm behind us, looking over our right shoulder. And then we untwist. Now we're going to do the staff pose. This is a little different and it doesn't look like much, but it really is really good for strengthening your entire body. So we're going to sit just nice and straight. Our feet are flexed, hands are next to us, next to our hips, shoulders relaxed, but spine is very straight. That's the staff pose. And then we'll relax. It really does strengthen your entire body. So there's way more to it than it looks like. So let's come up onto our hands and knees now. And we're going to do the half pigeon. So let's bring our left leg across in front of us. Right leg is extended behind us. We start with palms on the mat, looking up. And then sliding forward, forehead to the mat or just in that direction. And then we'll walk our hands back up. And we're going to come up into the firm. And then we'll come back onto our hands and knees. This time the right leg goes across in front of us. Left leg is extended behind us. Arms are on the mat. Stretching forward, forehead to the mat. And then walking our hands back up, coming back up into the firm, and let's pause. And now let's do a simple twist in the firm. So bringing our right hand to the left knee, arm is round behind us, making a fin behind our back or wrapping around our waist, looking over our left shoulder. And we'll untwist. And now the opposite side. And untwist. And now let's do a camel. So coming up onto our knees, you can just push forward from the lower back, or you can curl your toes under, reaching back for your heels. And then bring your palms together in front of your chest and above your head for the variation. And then coming back down to the firm. And now let's slide forward, coming into the Sphinx pose on our forearms. And then we're going to come down. When you don't need to use your arms, bring them to your sides, and then turn your cheek to the mat. And now let's do a bow pose, forehead to the mat, and then bending your knees, grasping your feet in your hands, lifting your torso and legs. And then lower yourself down. And then rolling over onto your back. And we're going to start on our backs with head of the cow, just the legs part. So let's come to bring our knees up and then bringing your left leg in towards the chest, right is underneath, grasping your feet. And then releasing, and then you can pause with your knees in the upside down V position. Now the opposite side, opposite leg is underneath this time. And then we'll release. We'll keep our legs in the upside down V position to pause. And now let's do a threading the needle. So left ankle on the right thigh, wrapping our arm around the right thigh or knee, and bringing that leg closer to the chest. And then lowering our leg. And now the other side. And then lowering our legs, straightening our legs and pausing. And now let's do a supine spinal twist. So bending your left knee, bringing that leg across the right to the floor or the mat, extending your left arm behind you, looking over your left shoulder. And bringing that left leg back to center and straightening it. Now the other side, bending the right knee, bringing that leg across the left to the floor, extending your right arm, looking over your right shoulder. And bringing that arm across your body, bringing that leg back to center and straightening. Now let's do a boat pose. We're going to do it with knees bent. So bending your knees, lifting your torso and your legs. And then lowering back down. And now let's do a bridge pose. So bringing your feet in, lifting your hips. You can support your hips with your hands. So bring your arms underneath your legs, clasping your hands, tucking in your shoulders. And then lower yourself back down. And now let's prepare for deep relaxation. So rubbing your palms together briskly, palming your eyes, and then lowering your arms to your sides. You can inhale, tense your arms and legs, lift them a couple inches off the mat, and exhale, lower them down. And now we're going to enter a state of deep peace. Let's begin by visualizing a beautiful white light. It's soft like a mist. It fills your room, and very gently it surrounds your body. You feel like you're floating on a cloud. This beautiful soft mist begins to fill the toes of your left foot, and it fills your foot, calf, knee, thigh, and hip. Your left leg relaxed and free of tension. The sweet mist fills the toes of the right foot. It fills your foot, calf, knee, thigh, and hip. Both legs free of tension. The soothing mist fills your abdomen, and it brings peace and calmness to your heart, your lungs, your chest. And this beautiful soft mist now fills your back. It starts at the lower back, and it fills the middle back and your upper back. This loving mist now fills the fingers of your left hand, Feels your hand, your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, your shoulder. The sweet mist fills the fingers of your right hand, and it fills your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, and your shoulder. This beautiful mist now fills your neck, and it brings peace and calmness into your jaw, teeth, tongue, lips, fills your left eye, your right eye. The soft mist now begins to fill your brain, relaxing all of your thoughts, your feelings. Now the sweet mist moves out to touch every hair on your head. Your entire body is now completely relaxed. This leaves your consciousness free to expand. It expands first to fill your room, expands out through the community, it expands throughout the country, throughout the continent. It expands beyond mountains, beyond trees. It expands to the galaxies. It expands beyond galaxies, beyond, till the entire universe is but a speck of light in one tiny corner of your infinite peace. Enjoy. Time now to bring your awareness back from the universes, from the galaxies, all the way back into your body. Returns first behind your eyes, flooding your face, neck, and throat with renewed vitality, renewed consciousness. Moves down the left arm to the fingertips, down the right arm to the fingertips, down your back to the hips, into your heart, lungs, chest, abdomen, left leg to the toes, right leg to the toes. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and inhale, stretch your arms above your head and tense, and then lower your arms. Exhale, relax. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, stretch, tense, and then lower your arms, relax, and then sitting up, facing your screen. Let's make sure we're fully back in our bodies, ready for the rest of the evening. So let's take 3 fingers of each hand, massaging the medulla 3 to 5. The medulla is right where the neck meets the skull, that little hollow. Let's massage 3 to 5 times in one direction, and then 3 to 5 times in the opposite direction. And then just tilting your head back gently and then forward. And let's do it one more time, massaging 3 to 5 times one way, and then 3 to 5 times the other way. And then pushing back and dropping forward. Great. Well, I hope you're feeling much more centered, open, and ready for the rest of the day, the evening, and the year. So thank you so much for joining me.